Libra, I've been working with your energy for a hot minute. I started this morning, I got interrupted, I had an appointment to go to, and on my way to the appointment, I tuned into the Rare Gazelle, Reem, and her reading for Libra, and I was floored. She received 2 of the same messages that I did. And the first one was that there are 2 doors. She said the exact same thing. And I have finally managed to work through the energy to figure out what these 2 doors are. So we'll talk about that. And she also received a big message around romance. And I got this card too. So I strongly encourage you to check out her reading. I'll link it in this description box below because I do feel like there's a lot of crossover. And we've had this happen before where we both picked up the same energy specifically for Libra. So I don't know what's going on with Libra collective energy, but we both seem to be really tapped into the same frequency. So if this resonates, check out her reading. The message that I got for you regarding romance, and I think she said something quite similar, is that you've fast-tracked. You've moved forward on a timeline and the energy is now catching up to you. So there's something with romance coming in for you that was always coming towards you, but for some reason it was moving slower than you. This could be a past connection that you've been anticipating to come back. It could be in your current relationship. The energy is going to catch up to where you are. It could be a future connection coming in. It could be any of those things. There's a lot of people here with different situations and experiences. But the main emphasis here that Spirit wants to make is that you skipped ahead. You chose a different timeline. And this is why you've had to kind of bide your time, or it feels like you're anticipating something, but you don't know quite yet, or you've had a vision, but it hasn't played out, and maybe you're questioning your psychic abilities or your intuition. You're like, WTF, but it is coming towards you. So we have Celestial Guides, number 44, with biding time. You just need to wait a little while for everything to catch up and settle in place. And I'm noticing a very wintry scene in this card. And Reem got the month January, love coming in for you. So perhaps that is for somebody who's, tuned into both of us. Now the 2 doors. Should I talk about that now? Yes. The 2 doors are energy doors, okay? So it's a little abstract because when you pick up messages about energy, it can be hard to translate into concrete reality, metaphors and terms and all that stuff because energy works on a different wavelength than our logical, rational mind. So the 2 doors, you were already given these 2 doors in the past. 1 door, you jumped a timeline and you fast-tracked into the future where you are now. The other door was continuing on the same track that you were on. And there was a series of events that were going to unfold and that did unfold on another timeline for you. Now, I feel like these 2 timelines, these 2 doors connect back up at the same point, which is where you are now. And it feels like you moved really quickly through this portal and you're sitting here waiting for this energy to catch up. So this could be a part of you that needs to catch up or somebody else that needs to catch up who's gone through a series of events. But it feels like you've actually avoided a big tower moment. You didn't need some kind of karmic lesson to play out again, and so you chose to jump ahead. This is kind of illustrated here. I see you in the future. I feel like, I'm talking like you're in the future. You're in the future timeline. And this is the far future. And this is actually the present moment. And it's really difficult to explain. This is the past. It's like you jumped over the present moment in some sense. So how you could be feeling this is feeling like there's missing information, feeling like you were so certain something was going to happen, but it didn't. And it's because you kind of jumped right over it, but it is happening, or it's going to happen. But I feel like it is happening on another timeline as well. I feel like you decided from your soul that you didn't need to subject yourself to another harsh lesson. But this has resulted in feeling, maybe for some of you, a little bit ungrounded or a little bit like out of time. It's a little bit of a strange feeling. That said, Spirit is showing me with the questioning mind that this is going to be resolved, this feeling. All the questions that you have about a particular situation, all the different pieces of information that have been given to you, but don't quite seem to come together as a complete picture, well, all of that is going to finally fall in place. And you're going to be able to understand why and how you skipped over something, what the purpose of that is, and what needs to catch up to you now. I'm going to try to find out what those things are. But what I love about this card, the questioning mind, is this big, beautiful monarch butterfly right in the middle of your consciousness. This is you knowing, regardless of what timeline you chose, that you have undergone a magnificent transformation. I also got this analogy that you are an artwork. You are a work of art. It's beautiful. And while you admire yourself as a work of art, there's a little bit of unknowingness of how you got to be a work of art. It's like looking at a beautiful painting, but not knowing the artist's process. How did they make this painting? And there's something about you discovering or understanding every stroke of the brush you took, every color of paint you used, every inspiration you had to make the painting that is you. You're going to understand what all of that was, what all those colors of paint were, what all those brush strokes were, what all the inspiration was that made you who you are now. Because there's something about that process of creating yourself, and you're a masterpiece, by the way, that you have skipped over, or you haven't seen, or you don't believe, or you don't know. And there's something about that creative process of manifesting who you are today that is important for you to connect with. And I feel like had you chose the other door where you would have went through that harsh lesson, eventually you would have got to where you are now, and it would have been a little bit clearer, more obvious how you became the masterpiece. But it's almost like you were pulled out of that, or, you chose to pull yourself out of that. But it feels like protection as well. You didn't need to go through that. But this is the result of feeling a little uncertain of something. I feel guided to pull some charms, so I'm going to do that. WTF. Yeah, exactly. WTF. Thank you, Spirit. The Fool. Yeah. How did I get here to this new beginning. WTF. Spirit's funny sometimes. Okay, we also have the letters Q and D. Maybe questions. The letter D could be significant. We have sheep, 10:11 on the clock. A crab. Something about you coming out of your shell is significant. And the number 5, change. Okay, a couple more and then we'll continue on. A huge key with wish. You wished for something, Libra, and you got your wish. Maybe you don't realize that. This could have been years ago. I feel like this is in between like a 5 and a 3-year time frame. Like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, something like this. Or maybe even more recent. But it feels like at that time, you wished for something. You wished for another door to open. And it did open, that fast-tracking door. We have a snowflake that made you who you are. We have the letters P, A, and B. A spider web. And sunglasses with hearts on it. Maybe you were caught in some kind of situation that felt sticky, tricky. You felt like there's some kind of trap. You could have been seeing something through teal-colored glasses. Teal-colored glasses. Interesting. There's some truth that wants to be spoken now, or there's something that needs to be said. So let's get into the cards and see what else comes through. There's resolutions coming to you if you haven't already had them. But I feel like the process of how you got to where you are now is coming through introspection. And when you introspect, you are going to surprise yourself with what information you receive. Sometimes we think about psychic awareness or signs, synchronicities, connection with source and spirit as like some kind of interaction that happens outside of us, like with another entity or external energy. But the deepest connection with source consciousness is when we introspect. That is the height of our psychic abilities, when we can go inside and put all the puzzle pieces together and explore all the questions of our mind and allow ourselves to be surprised with the answers that we receive and to trust those answers. So some of you need to reframe intuition and psychic knowingness. It's not an event that happens outside of yourself, like through tarot cards, for example, or some kind of, I don't know, something like that. It's more about introspection and going within. Okay. I feel like this is when you're going to access information about that timeline that you didn't choose, that door that you didn't choose. Before we go further, I want to know the energies that are wanting to catch up to you. It definitely feels like love wants to catch up to you. What are the energies catching up with Libra? Growth. All these seeds you planted. Yeah. You're waiting for those seeds to sprout. You know you planted them. You're on the other side of it. But you haven't seen the sprouts yet. It is happening. The energy I'm picking up on it's kind of quantum. It's really cool. Because on one hand, what I'm seeing is like you have your harvest, you have your cornucopia of things that you planted and you've watered them and they've grown, and you're there at that like apex. I'm hearing you're at the apex of your two-door situation, like you're at the top of it, and you have your cornucopia, so you know that everything grows. But at the same time, it's like you can see all the seeds that haven't grown yet. And those are the same seeds you're holding in your hand. I know that's really weird, but you're picking up on energies from the timeline you didn't take. I think that's it. And if you think about something that, yeah, there's something for someone, it's like it feels real. It feels like something actually happened or was going to happen, but it didn't. It did. And you're picking up on that. It just happened in another timeline. Like we have multiple iterations of ourselves quantumly. And so that's what you're tapping into. Okay, Libra. Let's go further in. For Libra, Spirit. For Libra. What messages do we have for Libra? No. Also, just when I said no, I felt like that was a message for you, because now you know that you have the ability to say no to a certain timeline. You do not need to take a path that is fraught and that is filled with conflict or maybe even trauma or events that don't serve you. The power of the no, I'm hearing. You can say no to something. And if you've been thinking about like what would have happened had I done X, what would have happened is you'd be at the same place you are now. It would have just been a different route there. Okay. Romance. Tell me more about romance, Spirit. We'll do 3. Romance for Libra. I'm hearing the calm before the storm. I don't know what that is. A growth again, and then there's another card peeking out. There's growth in your romantic life. And we have Odyssey. And this card fell out too. Sexuality. Interesting. Big romantic journey ahead for you. Conjure. You manifested this. You've been waiting for it to catch up to you. Okay. Let's go in further. Tell me what's supporting Libras. What energies are supporting Libras? I'm hearing speak. Your throat chakra could be supporting you. You need to maybe speak something into existence. We have spinning, solid structures, and digital interface. This other route that you didn't take, this other door, there is something digital-esque about it. Perhaps you were going to do something online that you didn't do, or you were going to say something online that you didn't say, or you did say it, or I don't know. There seems to be some kind of interference when it comes to the digital. It's like there's a message here. You know when you text someone or you email someone and they read it in a way that you didn't intend because there's no voice behind it, there's no expression, there's no body language, there's no inflection, it's just text, and it obscures the intention behind what was said. It feels like something like that has happened. And it could have caused someone to spin, you or someone else. Look at these two doors. And instead of continuing on with that kind of mode of communication, or maybe this is even looking for a job, or I don't know exactly what we're talking about for everyone, but instead of continuing on with this like artificial mediation between you and romance, you decided to choose a different door. It was in a more intuitive path you took. It was scary. It was emotional. But instantly you were like on the other side. Maybe you blocked someone, or they blocked you, or you unblocked someone. I'm not sure what happened here, but there's something about that that's significant when it comes to you choosing the right door. So let's see the challenge. Questioning mind. What are you questioning? Cosmic self and inner child. Oh yeah, I also got something about you remothering yourself. You learned how to remother yourself. So you fast track to this point that you're at now, but I'm not saying it was a fast and easy process to get to where you are. It could have felt very long and arduous. In fact, I feel like it was a path of solitude in which you remothered yourself, taught yourself basic lessons that you needed to learn, that maybe you were never taught. Okay? You were there for yourself. You helped yourself get back on your 2 feet. And you remothered yourself in a sense where you protected yourself from going down a path that was, I feel like you really avoided something that would have been quite difficult to go through. And this shouldn't be a mystery to you, whoever I'm connecting to right now. I feel like you have a knowing of what that path would have looked like. Flying, lifting off, and ghosts. Yeah. So it could feel, I'm hearing ghost in the machine. Oh, interesting. Digital interface, ghost in the machine. It could feel like you're being haunted by the timeline you didn't take. And if you don't feel this way, maybe this reading isn't for you, or not yet, or will never be. You are in control here. And that's part of the message that Spirit's really conveying to you. Your ability to say no, to speak no. No, this is not my story. No, that's not my timeline. And also the ability to say yes when it does serve you. But whatever has been haunting you energetically in your memory, in your mind, or maybe someone else's energy even, it's all going to be resolved. Your inner child and cosmic self are connecting. What does that mean? 5 of Wands in reverse. There's no more conflict between what your inner child wants and needs and what your higher self is guiding you towards. So in the past, your inner child could have been very wounded and maybe was seeking some kind of attention, or was seeking love, care in ways that came out from the shadow, ways that didn't serve you. And now your inner child has experienced some kind of healing because you remothered it. And your inner child is now in alignment with your higher self, which would have happened on the other path as well, but it would have been a lot different, harder. There would have been more what? Well, I see the 4 of Swords, and I was thinking unconsciousness. this last while, you've become more and more conscious, and it's happened in stages. Yeah, I feel like all I need to say here is that you avoided some kind of painful rejection or fallout. But there is a you that is experiencing something like that, and you could be picking up on that energy. Even still, you need to know that you can lift yourself out of that experience that you're picking up on and transcend it, go above it. So I feel like Spirit is saying you're not wrong in what you're perceiving and picking up. It is a path that you chose on some timeline. And I feel like you should be very proud that you didn't choose it on this timeline. But you don't have to suffer along with that timeline you didn't choose. You can allow romance to live free and clear now. The Fool. You're free and clear. You were always going to be free and clear. But you're here now, ahead of where you plan to be. It's like you had some kind of soul blueprint deciding, whatever, that, okay, by this time I'll be free and clear and ready for romance. And your free will came in and was like, no, actually I want it sooner. So you fast track to it. So you're allowed to experience that romance now. So I feel like what's catching up is an awareness or understanding of some kind of process that you went through. There's information coming towards you as well that you need to know. Okay, what is this information that's coming towards Libra? Ring of Fire. You are being challenged to stand up for yourself and those you love while the heat is on. I feel like this is related to speak. There's some truth you need to speak or something you need to speak about. Perhaps this timeline that you didn't choose how do I say that? Is a timeline that other people around you are experiencing. And because you've had access to this timeline energetically, psychically, you can speak about it. So for some of you, you could have been going down a path, thinking about doing something. You're like, oh, I don't have experience in this. I'm not really sure if I'm like, am I qualified? Do I have a right to say something here? And I feel like Spirit's saying, yes, stand up for those people who are experiencing what another aspect of you or another iteration of you is experiencing. This is the idea of all are one, too. Stand up for yourself, Libra, and those you love while the heat is on. Well, that's not hard for you because you are Justice. Anything else before we get into the tarot, Spirit? Good fortune, abundance, and prosperity are flowing into your life now. Open your arms to receive. The Goldfish. Part of standing up for yourself, Libra, is allowing yourself to receive. Receive the love that you deserve. Receive the abundance you deserve, the security, the safety. That is standing up for yourself. Let's do the tarot and see what else comes through for you, Libra. Libra's overall energy, Spirit. Libra's overall energy. King of Swords. Oh, look at that butterfly on your crown chakra. Your transformation, knowing your transformation. See, you have all of this information from different timelines. I want to expand on this, though, Spirit. But I feel like I need some help. King of Swords. Balancing act, dancing on one foot. Number 9. Let's see what the book says. Well, because now you're at the apex of these two paths, waiting for them to balance out, maybe. Saying yes to life. When dancing on one foot shows up, you are called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult a relationship seems. If you are putting too much effort into managing your life, work, relationship, family, and digital media, interesting, you are missing the point. You have to be dancing while juggling your entire life, knowing that at any one time, half of it is going to be up in the air. And that's what it feels like. It feels like you're standing up there being like, how did I get here? I don't know what's going on. There's all this energy I'm feeling, all this stuff over here, but I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how I know what I know. What happened to my visions? And Spirit's saying they're catching up to you. They're just up in the air right now. Oh, listen to this. It's not that you were doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you are confusing readiness with preparation. You're ready for something, but it's like you're waiting. Maybe that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for that feeling of being prepared to catch up with you. Yeah, because you would feel more prepared had you gone through all those, like, difficulties, perhaps. But you're ready. You will never, ever be fully prepared for all of the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to a new invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to Spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. You will be surprised by how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged now to work with the resources available to you and not be seduced by the belief, if I only had more. Life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill your mission. When it feels like you are losing your balance, do not contract, holding your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steady hand. And say yes knowing that you know the truth of what makes you a masterpiece, of your past situations, and where you're going next. You know that truth because your perception creates your truth. And you create your perception. You're on the money with something. Some of you are going to receive recognition for something artistic. So let's see what you don't see coming. Page of Wands, a message. Okay, what is this message, this information? What is this message? Page of Pentacles. The Empress. You could receive a message from someone younger than you. somebody who wants to learn from you. You really don't see this coming. I'm seeing you as the Empress with your back turned here to the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. There are people who are seeking your help, your guidance. Maybe this is why you need to speak and stand up. You could work with children. There's something else here though too. What am I missing? 8 of Cups. I have to say this, and I know how we all feel about it because I feel the same way too when I hear messages like what I'm about to say. But it is coming through. And I do feel there is someone here and there is some kind of energy catching up with you from the past, an energy that you chose to walk away from. They have something to say to you. They want to speak to you. So if you hate that part of the message, you don't want that part of it, don't take it. You have the choice, remember, to say no. But I feel like this is part surprise. Can we get anything else on this? 6 of Cups. If this part resonates with you, and this is part of what has been haunting you, then how you've been feeling is true. There is a deep soul connection here. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner's been very immature and not understanding you, I feel like some effort is going to be made to get to know what it is that you're actually feeling and thinking. There's some kind of conversation that's going to happen here. And with this partner, if you're with someone, you avoided a split. Both of those things could be true. There could all, you could have someone coming back and the thing with the partner. 5 of Wands. Yeah, there could be some competition for you too, Libra. Let's see the advice on this, Spirit. King of Cups and the Hermit. The Hierophant. Somebody's kept their emotions real quiet. Could be you. And I keep seeing, like, this card's just really big on the table. Speak. It feels like Spirit wants you to speak your truth. Don't run, don't hide. 4 of Cups. Get it over with, I'm hearing. 6 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Get it over with. There could be a conflict, an argument or something like that happens with the Knight of Swords, but you're going to be victorious. If you, I don't want to go, okay, we'll save that for the extended. There is going to be an extended reading. I'm going to go a layer deeper into this message. There's going to be more specifics. I already kind of feel them coming through, but I'm also getting guided to hold off on that. So if you want to go to the extended, link is in the description box below. But if you can't, or you don't want to, you don't like that whole idea, or you're not down for paying for an extended, then just trust that you got what you needed here and that you're not missing anything. Okay, because that's really how it works. Anything else for advice, Spirit? The Hierophant, I just saw that too. You are guided, celestial beings. You are guided from Spirit. You have access to divine wisdom, and that's why you jumped a timeline. Remember, all your questions are going to be answered. There's a resolution coming in. You've done a lot of good work here. And so what happens next is a reward for you. Regardless of what comes through, it's a reward. There is new romance or new energy in romance that you're meant to say yes to. There could also be a difficult conversation coming in that needs to happen because that's part of that energy catching up. Eight of Swords. It's part of what you've been picking up on and what's been haunting, if that resonates. Okay, I'm going to see what's going to manifest in the next 3 months for you, Libra, and then we'll go into the extended. The music I'm listening to, it just minimized like the screen and went in the corner. I don't know why I didn't do that. So I feel like that's a message that some energy is going to be minimized for you after this conversation. And when you accept this new frequency of love coming towards you. Next 3 months, Ace of Cups, new love. See? It's no joke, Libra. It's here. You're ready. It's time. Okay? So say yes. Don't close yourself off to this either. You deserve it. You deserve to be loved. All right. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.